Welcome back to CodyCrafted. Today we got the start of another new build series for you. This 1992 Pontiac Firebird belongs to our video guy, Rowan. And this car holds a special significance for him. This was his grandmother's car. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Becky. We're happy to have this car. This is actually the reason Rowan works here, is because we were already building his car. And now he's a member of the team. So this is a very special car. I also had 3rd gen as my first car. This was Rowan's first car. It's funny how life works that way. It's full circle. Check it out. We hope you enjoy. Now, without further ado, for the first time ever, Rowan, cue the theme music. What do you think?
Click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you would like more content, follow social media at CodyCrafted on Instagram.
So, Rowan, this car is very special to you.
Very special.
Why is this car so special to you, sir?
Well, because this car, well, this is my 1992 Pontiac Firebird. No Trans Am, no special trim, nothing like that. When it came in, I think it had like a 3.1 liter V8, V6, sorry, V6.
Yep, 3.1 liter V6.
Making a dweeby little like 130, 140 horsepower, something like that.
On its best day in 1992, yeah, it was making
Coming out
like
of the
135.
factory.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
Yeah.
connected to, you know, 4-speed automatic.
700 R4. Yep.
Terrible.
Yeah. But you drove this car
All through high school.
all through high school. Okay.
Up till like basically the last 2 weeks of high school.
Okay.
And then after that, around town, you know, with the friends at nights and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was your cruiser.
Cruiser car.
Yeah.
For an 18 to 20-year-old is, you know, not many have that opportunity, I know. But it just started giving out one piece at a time.
Yeah.
It was telling us that it needed some significant work done.
It went Johnny Cash on you.
Oh yeah,
One piece at a time.
You know, foot to the floor. You might be able to reach 65 without getting creamed by a semi truck. It was just, it's not good. So
yeah.
we did a little bit of digging around, found my man Cody here, and apparently he likes doing stuff like this.
I love me some 3rd gens.
I'll let him explain what's going into it. I'm not very versed in that kind of thing.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So I have a soft spot for 3rd gens. This would be the 3rd gen, your 82 to 92 Chevrolet Camaro and Pontiac Firebird, aka F bodies. These have a very soft spot for me. My first car when I was 16, 17 years old was also a 3rd gen F body. I had an 84 Z28, but it was a 305 with T-tops, and mine was a 5-speed. Mine also had to have a heart transplant not long. Well, I mean, you've had yours for a few years, but mine I had for 2 weeks and had to put a motor in it. So that's fun, which is what set us on the path where we are today, essentially. The good news is there are a lot of parts available for this conversion. This particular motor is a 5.3 LS based Gen 3 small block, iron block, aluminum heads, and your typical 2003 Tahoe 5.3 is essentially what it is. Transmission would be essentially out of the same. It's a 4L60. We stayed with a stock converter on this one. It does have an LS2 cam and a set of lifters, new from GM. The motor has been thoroughly checked over, new head gaskets, all cleaned up, resealed, and fully inspected, but I think the motor only had like 90,000 miles on it, and this car's not going to see a ton of miles for a long time, and we wanted to get the swap in and get it running and get it rolling before we just went, full Ricky Bobby on power, because give this guy another couple of years and I'm sure we'll have to get rowdy with this thing.
Maybe you'll see it again in a couple years. You never know. But
first hit's free. The automatic has been rebuilt. It's got a Corvette servo, and it's got a small shift kit in it. We are staying with stock converter. Motor's got stock heads, cleaned up, inspected, valves lapped, fresh valve springs, LS2 cam, and LS2 lifters. And, it runs great. It's got long tube stainless steel headers. Most of the swap components came from ICT Billet because they make all the bracketry to be able to use the factory power steering pump and the factory air conditioning compressor, the big radial compressor. You guys may be able to see it there. The headers are true long tubes. They're pretty stout. They're stainless steel. We custom fabricated a stainless steel Y pipe to go into a stainless steel MagnaFlow catback. So this thing actually sounds pretty rowdy. It sounds way rowdier than it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, running pretty good at this point. We're heat cycling, checking everything over, and as you can tell by the spaghetti monster here, the one of the main goals for Rowan was that the factory dash still worked, which is relatively involved.
It's not an easy job.
It's not a super easy job. It's something that's taken some head scratching and some wiring diagrams. For the Holly to run the computer or run the motor, and then to be able to still feed data to the dash is involved, and the air conditioning, having that run, and the Holly runs the factory fans and the factory fuel pump relay. The fuel pump itself is a Deutschwerks 255 in the factory hangar, so we don't have to mess with the level sender and vacuum lines and later emissions stuff. We've got some subframe braces to weld in. We've got a set of sway bars to put on. It's got relatively new shocks, so we're going to run with those for the time being. We're also going to a 373 gear with a positive traction, limited slip differential. So that way this thing will actually lay its power down instead of just one wheelie-peelie to the moon. So,
even as was, it enjoyed just spinning instead of hauling weight uphill or whatever it was, especially in the rain.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, hope we've blabbed your ears off enough about the car. And one more thing. There's another reason this car's special to you.
Oh yeah, what? Because it's an heirloom and been my family for longer since I was born.
That's right.
Yep.
So this car was purchased new by
my grandparents when they lived here in Texas, and then they drove it around for quite a while. My father actually got to drive it during his high school in the later years, if I remember correctly. They had sat in the garage for who knows how long, up till probably around 2005. My grandmother passed away, so the car was given to my father, and it sat in our garage for another 14, 13, 12 years, something like that.
Right.
When I needed a car for high school, so me and my dad got to work on, YouTube, looking up tutorials on how to bring something like this back to life. And, we got what we deserved driving pull out of the garage dusty hunk for high school for 4 years. It reacted about how we expected it would. So, now we're paying for it, but it's getting plenty of upgrades in the meantime.
That's right.
First thing I'm going to do when this thing gets done is, obviously, show it off to my grandparents. So, they'll be in town here not too long, so...
Yeah, so we have a deadline, which
Again.
is always important, because if you don't have clear goals and deadlines, nothing will ever get accomplished. Or maybe that's just me. So, all right, so we got a special car, we got a special owner, we got a very special build series for you. We hope you enjoy.
Even though it doesn't look much different, it is way different. We have a belt on. We're still working on a few things to adjust there.
Plugs.
We have all the plugs in, plugs and wires. Everything is wired up for the most part, except the stuff we need to send back into the cab of the vehicle. We have, it is turning over on its own. We have oil pressure, minimal, but that's just because all we're doing is cranking. But we do have some oil pressure. We have the fuel line connectors. Cody will be knocking those out soonish. We actually might have a car that will crank and turn over. Cruise control is gone, by the way. It is now over on the floor. No more cruise control. Say bye-bye. So yeah, lots of cleaning up of the wiring, lots of routing of the wiring. We grounded everything to the back of the heads. I'll do some more I'll do some more mansplaining. What we have here, the belt is touching here on this idler pulley. Okay, so we're going to get a smaller idler pulley here. That'll create like a 1/4 inch gap, and there won't be any worries there. We're needing to go with a slightly shorter belt. We're on full tension right now, so while the belt is taut, it's taut at full tension. There's not any additional slack, and they're arguing over the fuel pressure regulator. So they're working on fuel lines. You can see the connectors while he's being loud. Those are the connectors they were waiting on so that he could change to AN fittings. We need a slightly shorter belt, as I was mentioning. Bless you. All right, so it's a moment of truth. Do we need to run any? Don't we have to run the startup wizard?
We've already actually pre-called
Okay.
that part. Right now I'm checking for fuel leaks. Yep. Let's check the Holly. Let's check our base configuration file, our global configuration. Direct injection. Multi-port. LS 8. Injectors are OEM. They are now. So we go back 25. Rear end. This has 323s in it for the time being. We got 373s going into it. Start. Okay.
So all we need to do is back off the fuel pressure to 43
Back off to 40.
instead of 53.
Tell me where we're at.
Just a hair. You'd be right there.
Okay.
For about 41, 42.
All right. You want to cross your fingers?
All right. Fingers are crossed.
We got open headers, so
We have open headers, so it'll probably be loud. Again, we have checked the oil. We know the oil is good. Spark plug wires, fuel pressure. We should have everything.
there's
So,
fluid in the trans. There may not be quite enough, but there's fluid in the trans. We're just gonna see if we can get the light off.
we are going for our first startup.
Every day.
We likes to smoke in here.
Woo! Welcome to the smoking section.
It's a little smoky.
Let's see how well our exhaust fan really
We do
works.
have an exhaust fan, so we're going to see how well that works. So, this project's been sitting here for a while, and you know, lots of really neat things. Oh my lord, going on. But that was the first fire up. Cody, what you got for us?
I need to take some
Cody's
awesome
gonna
pictures
take
of
some
this
awesome
real quick.
pictures
Hang on.
first. you know, got to do the social media
You
stuff
got to do
too,
the
as
social
well
media
as
thing, right?
YouTube's.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, check us out on Instagram if you're not already following us.
At CodyCrafted.
That's right, at CodyCrafted. Also on Facey page if you're into all that. So far so good. It sounded nice. Of course, it's really hard to tell in an enclosed shop with open headers. We do have a Y pipe to build. There is a cat back on the car. This is a street car driver, so it's not gonna be too rowdy. But I'll tell you what, man, it sounded good. Sounded good. It's been too long coming. In all honesty, we kind of been dragging our feet on this project a little bit for various reasons, but we're on the home stretch. Got a little brake to deal with, some coolant temp. We got some fluids to monitor, build some exhaust, and get aligned, and that's about it. Gears and shakedown. So it's a short list that has sub lists, but you know that's just how it goes. So value member of the
I'm a great value employee. That's
great
true.
valued member of the team. Valued member of the team. Great value, like Walmart.
I'm a great value. He's
Great
become a
value lift kit.
value employee.
Yeah.